Hello, we're and here we're on the FIA race in Manufacturers. We are in round 5 at Dragons Tail Seaside. I'm just going to get the whole rundown done. My qualifying in this was absolutely terrible. Nothing went wrong with my qualifying, I just qualified really badly. Why I qualified really badly, I have no idea, because my practice was so much better, but qualifying, I don't know. Here I am, in 18th, down in 19th. My qualifying, for some reason, was just really bad. I don't know why. It just seemed to have been much slower than I could actually do, that I could get. Yeah. Unfortunately, it kind of now shows by me being in 18th, down in 19th. So yeah, so this race, again, we're at Dragons Tail Seaside. It's 15 laps. No refueling was required. Only one pit was technically really needed, because I think if I remember correctly, you were only able to use medium tyres, and that was it. You weren't able to use anything else. But I decided just to go for. I decided to try something a little bit different. Since due to my qualifying being like really bad, I thought I'll try something different, because I was going to go up to lap 8, pit on lap 8, come up to lap 9, and then just go straight to the end. But due to the fact that my qualifying was so bad, I thought, you know what, I'm going to do 5 laps, then pit, then another 5 laps, then pit. Whether that was the best strategy, I think it could work. It probably just didn't work so well for me, primarily on the basis of where I started in the race. I mean, if I started up higher, it could actually possibly work quite not too badly actually. But due to my starting position and due to a couple of errors, I don't think it worked as well as it could have, but I do think it did allow me to actually be able to make up some positions because of that kind of strategy. So yes, this is one with the chicane of death, which I know a few people do refer to it as now, as the chicane of death. But obviously now people are slowly getting more used to it, but it still does claim the occasional victim. So it's a question of, do I get claimed by the chicane up there during this race? We'll have to wait and see. So I might have a few close calls, but never hit it, or I might have an accident with it. But we'll have to wait and see what happens. So by the end of the first lap, I managed to come at like a few positions. Nothing amazingly drastic, but I managed to come up with a few positions here. So, not too. Yeah, the driver in front of me, German driver. I don't know. He seemed to be a bit. I don't know. I got the thing. He wasn't so much aggressive, but it was just more. Well, I don't know if it was just he was a little bit aggressive, or he wasn't always fully aware of what was around him. But I did see a few instances, and like I got involved. You know, I sort of went to go for overtake him on the inside at one point. I had more speed going into a corner than what he did as well, and he somehow still managed to sort of actually bump me in the standing area. So I just think he just wasn't pretty aware, or it was just like didn't know when he was beat, kind of thing. But but after that, he wasn't he made it bad. But he did. But there is. You will see some squabbling. I did see some squabbling between other drivers in this. Sort of like later on in the race. So, but then again, at the same time, I'm quite near the back, and I think when you're near the back of the pack, it's sort of, you will see more of that kind of like squabbling, or sometimes it is just aggressive squabbling, and sometimes it's just petty squabbling. It just depends on the situation. But yeah, we are in our group 4s for this one, so I am in the SLS. So my second lap was a 1:49.2. My qualifying was like a 1:48. I think my fastest lap in this race in the end was like a 1:47.5, I think, if I remember correctly. But in practice, I was my fastest practice lap was about 1:46.6. I think 1:46.5, 1:46.6. So either way, I was still at probably on average, I was off pace by about, I don't know, maybe a second and a half tops. But I managed to get up to 14th. So now at this point, I go wide here, go a bit faster in that corner, but it's still like, at that point I was looking in the rearview mirror because I just wanted to see if the driver in the yellow, I think it's a yellow BMW, seeing where he was, and then I looked up, and then I saw those two cars collide, and I was like, it's like your initial reaction when if you see something happen a bit far away, but you still react to it, even though you're in a safe position away from it, you still react to it. So I was just too distracted with looking at the rearview mirror. Then I looked down, and then I looked back at the screen, and then it was like, oh crap, there's an incident going on. Break. So I wasn't really paying attention. That's maybe not. So it's like, here, go straight on the inside. I'm on the inside. It gets a little bump. There's a little bit of collide, a little bit of a collision. Lucky enough, nothing bad came out of that. He didn't go flying off. He wasn't still trying to push. It was like those kind of things that there were some people I saw on the race were doing that. It was just more non-self-awareness of the area around them, kind of thing. But then that does happen now and then. So we're going to chicane again, and yeah, fortunately just smashed the wall there. I think that one I didn't turn in at the right time, so I wasn't going into it like kind of the best angle. Hence why I smashed them to the wall on the outside. At this point, I saw the Spanish driver in front of me. He was coming up behind me. He was going to go for the inside, so I thought I'm going to stay a little bit wide to slam through because he's going to have the inside line anyway. So, got no choice but really to let him through. So I get myself up to 12th, but then and now I drop back down to 15th. But I'm not in 15th for too long. managed to get past the Spanish driver again and climbed up to 14. So if I let's have a look. So yeah, so this lap I will be pitting in, doing my first of 2 pit stops. Yeah, so lap 3 was a 148.4. Yeah, 148.4. So faster, but still very slow compared to what I could potentially achieve. For some reason in this race I just wasn't on the right kind of pace compared to my practice. And unfortunately that did affect my race. Now there was a bit of magic there. Unfortunately someone left out. I think they must have had a really bad collision at the chicane up there. But you saw in that shot, there was a green. You saw a little bit of green car. Then the camera moved, then came back, and then there was no green car. But right, we're gonna skip ahead up to some. These are like things that happened that I saw. I want to put it. So it's like this one, meanwhile, like petty squabbling. So these two hit each other a little bit. It's like a little tap. You know, once the guy got counted, and then it comes a petty squabble, and boom, kind of a petty squabble. There, and he bugs them both up. And here we have where I get claimed by the chicane of death. Or kind of claimed anyway. Right, unfortunately I hit that wall. You know, it's the whole ricochet ripple effect. And, you know, unfortunately I didn't take it very well. Got damage on the front. Now I wasn't so sure on whether to pit in here or not. And so I got my hazards going, just in case if there was anyone very close behind, they could see that hazards are going. Obviously something's not right with my car, blah blah blah. Well, lucky enough, the damage actually self repairs. So I was able to carry on with what my original strategy was going to be. So I've just pitted in. Now we're on lap 11, so we've only got a few more laps to go. And now you can see my position compared to when I pitted in on lap 5 has not changed. I think it did change on the second stints. You know, there were some changes. That's when other people were starting to pit. So there were some position changes, but ultimately in the end, after the second pit, I came out with 15th. So that, I think somebody was off the track there, so I managed to gain the position there. So, kind of helped. So yeah, all in all, still, this race is still not going reasonably well. This wasn't my best race. It wasn't my most, it wasn't my best result. It wasn't the closest race. You know, it was just a everyday race, I suppose, really. But in comparison to where I started, I still managed to climb up 4 positions. So, at least I'm climbing up the field. At least, it's not like I'm going down and coming up. At least I'm climbing up. And you can see by this point, I have set I think that's a 147.6. I think I might have got 1 point. It might have actually been 147.6. That might have been past that. I can't quite remember now. But either way, that's still about a second off what I could actually achieve if I actually raced better on this. But unfortunately I just didn't race that well. I mean, I raced alright. It wasn't a complete disaster. I will say it wasn't a complete disaster. It was just wasn't my best racing. So now at that point where I managed to climb up 2 positions because 2 people in front of me did pit in, so I've managed to climb up to 12th. And I'm sort of like now at that point of no man's land. So it's like, okay, I've got a quite a nice comfortable gap of between me and 13th. But there is still quite a bit of a gap between me and 11th. But due to the fact that the Spanish driver, his name is like C3, like L or an I13. It's like C313. So I'm just gonna call this guy C3, which I think I've raced against him before. I think he's been in a few races before in the past. So it's a name I recognise anyway. So I do recognise this driver's name. So, but yeah, there is a bit of a gap between me and C3, but I do know at this point that C3 was not on, and I knew at this point in the race as well, that C3 wasn't on the same strategy as me. He would have been on like pit in lap 7, come out lap 8, go to the end, or pit in lap 8, come out lap 9, go to the end. You know, that kind of strategy. So like the halfway mark strategy, whereas I was in the third mark strategy. So I knew at this point his tyres would be a little bit more, well, I say a little bit more, would actually be worse off than mine. So I knew I had potential to catch up. It's just about actually catching up with him at this point. I did actually go looking back through his replay as well, as I just wanted to see what how his tyres were. And I will say, if by some minuscule chance that C3, or if you recognise the car that you're driving you are actually watching this video, by some minuscule chance, I will advise you to maybe try and bring your brake bias a bit more to the back, because the brake bias was very, it seemed to be like that the brake bias was very heavily to the front. Because looking through the replay, the front tyres were way more worn down than the back. The back tyres weren't actually in that bad condition really compared to the fronts. The fronts were like about half dead by about the beginning of the last lap, which was obviously going to hinder the ability to turn, which I think that's what allowed me to catch up, because it's already I've managed to bring it down from like a 5-second gap, and I've now got it down to like a second kind of thing. You know, I've been able to bring that gap down. Oh, and yes, there is a 147.5, so I was right about that. So by some chance, if C3 you're watching this, I would advise to maybe work on brake bias, unless you were just experimenting with this race, which if that was the case and you were, then consider this experiment a bit of a failure, because your car would have been completely off balance, because the tyres were completely off balance to one another in the ways of amount of life left. But now I come back to the race. Now, unfortunately, there I did go a little bit wide there, so he's able to get a bit of ground. I did go a little bit wide, but unfortunately, also somebody went off there, so I do manage to climb up to 11th. So 9th isn't impossible at the moment. That's the thing. 9th is not impossible to get at the moment. But I do need to get, if I want to get 9th, I will need to get past C3 as fast as I can. And in all fairness, he didn't make that too hard. Well, he didn't actually, not too hard. He didn't actually make it that easy. But he wasn't unfair about it at the same time, no. He defended correctly, you know, he would take the defensive line when it came to corners. He didn't fully, you know, he never really looked fully cut into such a way where it could cause a racing incident or anything like that. So it comes to the final lap. 9th is getting a bit away, so now so as I know, it's like I'm gonna try and get past C3. Obviously he's got the inside line, so that I can't really make it. It's going to be a little bit hard to make him there. He's got the inside line, so come out of there. Still behind him, still within good enough distance to be able to make a challenge. If 80% an opening for me to be able to make that challenge, which is unfortunately not yet. So I think at this point I'm thinking, like, oh, I'm going to try and see if I can get a dive on the inside just to get past him. He's like, no, he cuts it off, but he cuts it off fairly. You know, there was still enough of a gap between me and him that if I, that I could easily slow down and blah blah blah. You know, he takes the inside line. It's like, okay, he's got the inside line here. No, I'm going to slow in, fast out. And doing that, I can stay on the inside and get past him. Now I do think there as well, his tyres may have also let him down a little bit there, especially at this kind of point. Is the damage to his front tyres would definitely let him down there. But with that sort of hairpin corner, it was like, well, I'm gonna go slow in, fast out, and stay within the inside. Into which that idea worked. So, take and come home in 10th place. So all in all, at the end, wasn't actually a terrible race. I didn't race the best. I wasn't on the same kind of pace as I could have been. But all in all, I can't argue the result. I climbed up 8 places. So all in all, it wasn't terrible. It wasn't the best, but it wasn't terrible. But that's it for this video. Let me know how your FIA series are all going on as well. Remember to share this video with your friends, and to like and subscribe. And until the next time, I will see you all at the finishing line.